first things first. Oh, my stickers have arrived. Yes, they have arrived. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 5. Hey! I already showed them off on Instagram and also Patreon, where it's possible you're watching this right now. But aren't they cool? Look, that's the size of a post-it note. Let me get rid of my important notes on the top of my post-it notes. That's just about a little bit yellower because I wanted it to show a bit more. But it's this one. See, it's like the sticker of the fucking... It's pretty cool, isn't it? I don't know, I thought it was cool. Cool enough for a sticker. I got these mad villain ones. One single person said, oh, that would make a really cool sticker when they saw that drawing. And I was like, do you know what? You're not wrong. So I made that sticker. Bit of mad villain. We love some of that. Oh, mad villain. Chillin', getting illin'. Popping pillins. And killing. Children. That's the thing. The size of this guy. I wanted him to be a bit bigger because I didn't want him to be, like post-it note size. That was the average size I was working on for my stickers. So, the mad villain's not too much bigger than that. But I wanted the thing to be a bit bigger, and he came out actually a little bit bigger than I even expected him to. But that's cool. My thing painting as a sticker. I really like that one. So much that my sketchbook's somewhere else. It's in my bag on the other side of the room, so I'm not going to buy. But I put one on my sketchbook. And I got these. Obviously, these, the bigger they are, the more expensive they are. And these were like about half the price, so I got twice as many. They're like pogs almost, aren't they? Maybe I could do that. If I can, what's the measurements? Measurements of pogs. Oh Jesus Christ! What? 41.37 millimeters. Where's my tape measure? Or 1.6285 inch. Why can't they just be like 1.5 inches or like? Jesus Christ. 1.625 inches. It's like that. These are very, very close to pog sized. They're close enough, but I could do like pog stickers. That's what I was getting at. But yeah, these are. I thought these, because I'll give them away for free, like a little pack of, 4 stickers. For free, 4 stickers for free. It's not much, but it's something. They didn't cost me nothing. This is my own money going into these. I got a whole pack of envelopes just for the stickers. I've actually got 2 packs of envelopes to fit the amount of stickers. So I am wondering though if I can get away with folding these in half just to make it easier for me. But I don't think the thing will fit. Nah, so I'll have to put them. It's a bit awkward though because it feels like they're floating around in the fucking whatever. So I'll do this. Get them all fucking in there, and then this I can fold it like that. Make it a bit smaller. Maybe I should do a measurement of. I could do this, couldn't I? Fold it to almost halfway. Oh yeah, this bit here, so that works. Because this bit folds over normally, but I don't have to. So I can take off the little tape bit, put it there, and then that's a very. Oh, it's kind of there. Maybe it's not ideal to have it like that because it is a little bit silly. Okay, well, that one may or may not get sent out. I might just put them in normally. Or I should, I should have some... Man, that would be the thing to do if I had money. Get custom envelopes made to fit the exact size I need. In a world if I have money. But then that's the thing. So I'll put the little things together, and sometimes I'll throw in an extra little goblin sticker for somebody, and they'll go, "Oh, you accidentally sent me 2 of this goblin." And then I'll say, "Yeah, actually that was an accident. Can you please send the single goblin sticker back so I can send it to somebody?" Oh, wouldn't that be funny? And I'll do that, and then address and whatever, and then send that to somebody. So those some stickers ready to go already. And you could get 2 of them, put them over your nipples and take pictures, and put them over your arsehole, you arsehole. So that's cool. Those are there, and the whole reason I got these done was to give them away for free, sort of in hopes that more people would come on to the Patreon just for some almost free stickers. But if you're signing up to Patreon for $1 a month, which is less than a single pound, and straight away you get some free stickers and then access to all the other shit on my Patreon, which there's a lot of shit on my Patreon, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what. And that's a lot of shit in a good and a bad way, depending on how you see. There's a lot of shit, like a lot of stuff, but also there's a lot of absolute shite. One person commented saying something along the lines of, "Ha ha ha! I'll buy a packet of stickers, but I'm not signing up to your Patreon just for some free stickers." Which is fair, but at the same time, oh, so you just don't want to support me, even for a few months, and then unsubscribe, and then get some stickers and access to everything else. You don't just get you get. That comment annoyed me. I don't know if that person watches these things, but that just annoyed me a little bit. I wasn't angry. I wasn't like "fuck you." I was tempted to block him just because it's quite funny to just block someone for something like that. But it was just a bit like, well, "fuck you." That's the sort of thing that you can just keep to yourself. Like, I'd buy some stickers, but I'm not going to sign up to Patreon just to get some free stickers. Okay, you don't need to mention that. Just keep it to yourself. Don't fucking matter. You shut up. Fucking cockend. See, I could say, "Oh, I'm sure they're probably a nice person and it's mean to..." I'm not like calling them out. I'm not giving their name and stuff. But maybe they're not a nice person. If they're the sort of person who'd openly say something like that online, to say something like that on the internet, where everyone's supposed to be nice and lovely and wholesome to each other all the time, why would you say something so mean? Unwarranted. Ha 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 ha. I'm drawing bodybuilders. Bodybuilders, do 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 do. Bodybuilders, do 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 do. Bodybuilders, ba 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 ba. Bodybuilders, do 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 do. I don't know the rest of the words to the Bodybuilders song. See, it's "I Want Candy" by whoever sung "I Want Candy." Who sung? That's my my Chinese tailor who makes my suits. Who sung? Who sung? Hui. That's unnecessary. Who sung or sang? Sang. "I want candy." Boot 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 boot. The Strangeloves. "I Want Candy" is a song written and originally recorded by the Strangeloves in 1965. That reached number 11 on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. It is a famous example of a song that uses the Bo Diddley beat. What's the Bo Diddley beat? It's a Bo Diddley beat. Bo Diddley beat is a variation of the 3/2 clave, one of the most common bell patterns. I've got an uncommon bell pattern because the head of my penis is a weird shape, and so it makes a weird pattern in the front of my sweatpants, found in Afro-Cuban music that has been traced to sub-Saharan African music traditions. It is also akin to the rhythmic pattern known as shave and a haircut, 2 bits, that has been linked to a Yoruba drumming from West Africa. That essentially gave me zero information. A variation of the 3-2 clay. I don't know what that means. I know 4-4 is like... it might not even be that. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's what 4-4 is, and so I assume 3-2 is something similar to that but different. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It might be something. That's purely with my zero musical knowledge. I don't know. Jesus, God and Jesus are all gay. The gay incestual family fucking. That's what God and Jesus are. Gay incest family fuck. To the tune of Iron Man by Black Sabbath. I don't have much to talk about today. As if that wasn't quite evident. As if that's not always the case. But we usually come up with something, don't we? We find something to talk about, don't we? You might ask, why are you drawing bodybuilders, Ewan? Well, we'll get to that. Not anytime soon, but we'll get to it, brothers and sisters. See, that's how we talk to each other in the cult that we're building. Yeah? Brothers and sisters. I'm brother Uncle Ewan. It doesn't make sense, but it just is the way it is. It's just how we do things in the cult. If I do make a cult, I'm going to call it the cult, so there's no illusions. No one can ever be like, oh, it's a bit cult-like, isn't it? Because if they do, it'll be like, well, it's called the cult. I mean, what did you expect? The fuck is wrong with you, idiot? You're trying to dig up dirt on the cult and find out what they're actually about. What they're actually about is cult things. They get up to cult activities. Crook things. Alright, so I know 4chan is deplorable in about every conceivable possible way and very much can shoot you down a right-wing pipeline into very bad things, and there has been very, very clear and abundant evidence that 4chan can directly lead to people doing horrible things in the name of white supremacy. It's very, 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 very bad. I spent quite a few years on and around 4chan because there's like porn and stuff on there, you know, easily accessible pornography and things, and for a time I had my sort of like very wrong racial thoughts and ideals, and you know, coming from an anti-religious point of view, anti this and anti that, and it sort of fed certain things about the way I felt about certain things. But there was one. Okay, this is what happens when I don't have things to talk about. I talk about fucking goddamn 4chan. I had no plan. I had something in mind to talk about actually, but I completely forgot what it was. But 4chan had a. I just preface that just so if I talk about 4chan, you know I'm not talking about it in a positive, loving way. I'm not going like, oh hey, 4chan's fun. I'm saying I was a piece of shit and I went on 4chan, and you know that didn't make me any less of a piece of shit. So, 4chan, like many other websites, had a captcha, a captcha where you've got to like. You know, there's some letters or words or numbers all like distorted and stuff, and you've got to try to see what they are and type it clearly to prove you're not a robot. That sort of thing. Prove you're not a robot. Type the sentence so you can post on the thing. And for quite some time, the one used on 4chan would give 2 random words, all wavy and wobbly and distorted, and so people on the website 4chan would started to take whatever 2 random words they were, like screenshot them and turn them into a little mini like 4-panel comic or less panel comic. I'm now googling fucking 4chan memes. Capture comics. Okay, yeah, there's a shitload of them. Right. Oh, it's capture. My mistake. Capture. Okay, so there's one is the words are too soupy. So then there's a little drawing of a waiter coming up to a guy with a troll face, which is, not great. The waiter saying, any problems? And the guy with the troll face pointing to the soup going, my soup is... And then it's got the capture saying, too soupy. Stuff like that. Anyway, the one that always has apparently stuck with me, because I just thought it was quite funny, and it's the sort of thing that, I don't know, could be said and used outside of a dumb borderline white supremacist website, which is someone was breaking into a little, stupid MS Paint drawing of a comic, someone breaking into someone else's house or something, and them being caught in the act, and the person who catches them going, hey, what are you doing? And the person turns around with like a ski mask on, and then it has a screenshot of the wibbly wobbly capture that says crook things, which I thought was funny. I don't know. Hey, what are you doing? Crook things. I'm a crook and I do crook things. I don't know. Shut up. I thought it was funny. But also, I won't back down on the fact that 4chan is a bad place. Not because it's like, oh, don't go to 4chan. You know what they do on 4chan? They do sexist and racist things. It's just that 4chan happens to be a place where those sorts of people gather to, talk about certain things and share images, uncensored, very violent. There's a lot of like gore and death photos and videos which I used to enjoy seeing. And literally nowadays I can't look at that shit, which just shows, I've obviously grown or shrunk as a person, and I can't watch people dying anymore. I used to literally be able to watch those videos endlessly. First thing in the morning, sit down with my cereal, watch some suicide videos, some war footage, and whatever else. But yeah, literally, like nowadays, I just fucking can't take it. It breaks my heart to see that shit. And because it's usually shit carried out by horrible, horrible people. It's very rarely... Well, I mean, when is murder and death ever right? It's it's not. So it's not just, oh no, people are dying, that's bad, but it's also these people are killing other people in horrific ways. And, I get very anti-capitalist about it. So that's something. Welcome to the show. How are you all feeling today? I honestly did think of like, oh shit, yeah, I can talk about this. What was it? It wasn't Patreon. Or was it Patreon? Stickers. It might have been something to do with Patreon or stickers or something. Fuck. Who knows? Who cares? Not me. Suck my toes. Hey, we're keeping it clean now. The beverage of the week is a tiny can of apple tizer, lightly sparkling, 100% juice. Drink it, you whore. I used to drink this all the time Because I very rarely found it in shops, and when I did, I was like, oh, what's that? It comes in like a fancy glass, like green glass bottle that's like shaped like this, like a potion almost. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I've always loved like apple juice, apple tango, apple flavoured candy, apple stuff. It's really, really good and tasty. But, I could rarely find it, so whenever I did find it, it was kind of a treat. And then I worked in a restaurant washing dishes as the exotic, artistic life that I lead. And they sold appetizer in there. And so I was able to get, pizza and a drink for my staff lunch every day. And the drink was always an appetizer. I always had an appetizer. And that was good. It's been sitting out a bit, so it's nice and warm. Which isn't ideal, but it's a tiny can, and I've got another one in the fridge. Which I could have gotten out of the fridge to have as my beverage of the week. But, fuck that shit. A fucking bunch of garbage and shit. Ooh, let's take a look at an old art book. Oh, Jesus. Literally, the tiny can of appetizer almost flew off my desk. Hui. This is Extreme Finale by Ashley Wood. This is an old book, kind of. Oh, this must have come out fucking years and years ago. Years and years. 2008. That's so many years. That's 15 years ago. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Apple burps. It is filthy, rotten. I don't know. There's all kind of fucking mould and shit. Water damage. But that's because I don't care about my belongings, because they're just things. So we're going to flip through every single page of this gargantuan, colossal giant. There's pubes and shit in it. No, beard hairs probably. Yeah, we're going to flip through every... Although, actually, that said, this was... we're looking through this today purely because I've not looked through it in fucking years. It's literally was at the bottom of a pile of books on my floor. A big pile of big books. And this was right on the bottom because I just hadn't looked at it in so long. And, I don't necessarily have newer art books at the moment or comics and things to look at. And I want to look at an art book. And why bloody not? Why bloody not? This was one. If I've spoken about it before, then you know. If I haven't, then this is new to you. This cost me £75, which I'm not adverse to spending on things, but certainly, in 2008 or 2009, whenever I got this, it's a lot of money for a book. And I was like maybe a student, and I didn't have that kind of money to just toss around. But I saw this in the shop, and I didn't expect to see it, and I didn't think I'd ever see it again, so I had to get it while I was able to. And frankly, worth every penny. I'd have paid more than that, because I'm in love with Ashley Wood's artwork. Not the man. I mean, he's probably alright. I think he's Australian, and that's cool. They got funny voices. How do they talk? There's an Australian talk like this. We're going to take a look at my new art book. Art. How would an Australian say art? A new art book? I got a new art book. Fuck, I'm stumped on the word art. Now, this wasn't intentional, but it just so happens that I'm not looking at it for this reason, but it's very coincidental that his character of, I believe his name is Le Mort, which is the death, I think, which even the name. Who does that remind you of? Couldn't possibly be. I don't have a single fucking image of. God damn it! Oh no! One time I need some fucking shit, and I haven't got any. Looks like Death Fist. That's the. Look, that's her vagina. Very similar to Death Fist. Again, not intention. That was not remotely intentional. I wasn't trying to rip off Ashley Wood, but it's one of those things. The images are in my head, they're probably going to come out somewhere along the way. But this guy uses guns. Deathfist doesn't use guns. But I think in terms of like character shape, they're quite similar. Deathfist wears a hat when he's in disguise, which I guess is similar to Lemur. Les Morts. Lemur. But that's a very cool character design. And Ashley Wood with his fucking pristine, incredible, like, it's so fucking simple, but in terms of image construction, with the window and the building and the drain pipe and then the character in the shadows, like, they're so fucking simple. And so few lines, really, but so effective. And look, that's just all shadow and then just a few lines to, like, show the scarf and shit. And yeah, I could probably steal loads of this, like these shapes for Deathfist, just stick a skull on there. I don't know much of this character. I think he put him in several comics that he made. I never saw any of them in print. So it looks like this is the sort of guy that would have a skull hidden away under his hat. That I've just stolen the idea for completely. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, ugh, that's kind of almost inexcusable. How do I get around that one? Don't watch this episode because you might realise that I've just stolen all my ideas for everything ever. I swear somewhere in here there'll be a picture of a Viking with guns and I'll be like, fuck! God damn it! I thought that was an original idea! What I like about this is it shows a wide variety of, like, not styles as such, but certainly like mediums and kind of styles. It shows Ashley Wood trying a bunch of different things at different times over the years. And, you know, certainly in like some of these early digital paintings, which I think were done for like fashion advertisements or something. I guess the detail in the clothing and stuff is maybe a sign of that. But a very, very sort of different, like it has Ashley Wood's signature sketchiness to it, and style in terms of like anatomy and stuff. But definitely a different vibe to more modern Ashley Wood woodwork. Something I really like. I always love this. I copied this a bunch. Like this was around. I think I got this my second year of university, so mid-university. I was experimenting a lot, or copying a lot of different artists, depending on how you view it. And I stole this thing where you just do like get the paintbrush, like a wedge paintbrush, and just do one stroke in like either an arch or a line or just whatever, and then write some shit in it. I stole that a bunch. This body's really well done. Very simple again, but fucking effective and shit. Only years upon years upon years after getting this book did I find out that's the Max. Like that's his head, his arm and his claw and his big fucking boot. I thought it was some like alien or something, because I think at the time I didn't even know of the Max. I don't think I found out about the Max until like a couple of years after leaving uni even. And then I saw this, I think posted somewhere online, either Instagram or somewhere else, and it said, you know, Ashley Wood, the Max, and I was like, what? And then it took me a minute to be like, shit, yeah, that's fucking the Max, and his like pop character and a cat. I had no idea, man, no fucking clue. See, these are the sorts of like books I'd love to get printed, where I can be on good terms with a publishing company and say, I'm putting a book together, I'll send you the files and then print it. And it's just fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of drawings and paintings, digital, traditional, all kinds of shit. Love that. Really, really like that. Very simple, but and I learned a lot from like these sorts of paintings where you can see every single goddamn brush stroke, and like it almost looks wrong with the contrast between the butt, the thigh, and the calf. But like just this block of shadow here gives so much information as to like the bending of the leg, and then the calf sticking out being lit again. So simple but so effective. There's a cat and it's got a little boner penis because their nipples are poking out. A lot of Ashley Wood's art is very sexy or like sexually suggestive or blatantly sexual, which is quite cool. I love some of his robot stuff. I stole this intestine thing here. I used that in a bunch of like drawings and paintings where it's like a dull, fairly desaturated image, but then you highlight the intestines and you paint them in a certain way with like little white highlights and stuff. Definitely stole a bunch of that. I've got a lot to give credit to Ashley Wood for. I owe Ashley Wood a lot of credit for stealing so much, but I learned a lot from Ashley Wood's work, and it was that time around college and university was a time when I was really had decided I want to be an artist, because I'd always drawn. It was always just something I just did. Oh, Ewan's good at drawing. That's neat. Cool. Whenever there's a project that involves drawing being done, we'll get Ewan to fucking do the thing because that's what he does. And so it was just something I did. Like in school, it was just something I'm good at art, so I'll do art, fine. But it was around college that I was really like, finding out about artists, that they're actually people that create artwork. There's that thing again. And I thought, shit, I can do that. I could be one of those. And that's when I started collecting, books and things by certain specific artists that I like, and started finding out about artists that I liked. And the moment I saw, I think it might be in here, I doubt we'll happen upon it, but there was an Ashley Wood painting. It was like a World War robot painting. I think it was used as an album cover for some band. It's like a street scene with a couple of empty cars, some lampposts and stuff, and a robot, and it's all painted in somewhat sepia tone. And I saw that painting online somewhere, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like I can see it's a painting, and it's really, really fucking good. These are really nice, but I just don't want to gloss over them. Nice body drawings, and I don't think I did steal from him, cutting off bodies and stuff and only drawing parts of them, but that's something. That's cool. Miss Fugu Kung Mortis. Ashley Wood 02. That's cool. Bunny girls. We all love a nice bunny girl. Disgruntled bunny. Yeah, I saw that painting, and I found out. I think I might have even seen it on 4chan. I don't know. I found out it was by a guy called Ashley Wood. I started Google imaging Ashley Wood artwork, and I was just in stupid fucking love with his work straight away. And then I saw, more paintings of his, more drawings of his. But he was one of these artists whose work was really hard to track down. Like, his books weren't published by like Marvel and DC. You couldn't just find them in any shop. So when I was able to find pieces of it, I really was just like so happy, and I grabbed onto it and it sort of absorbed and thus put out of my own copies as much of his stuff as I could. Look at that shit, man. Oil paintings. That's just so goddamn nice. There's Ashley Wood really does seem to create subtlety out of not subtlety. Like it's simplistic and almost brash and harsh in his use of strokes, but there is like subtlety in the flesh tones and the curves and bumps and stuff here and there, with like minimal use of paint. That's really, really fucking nice. I love his robot designs as well. I think there's something I have spoken about before and intend to speak about at length at some point as well, is moving from being obsessed with detail and complicated images into not minimalism as such, but just breaking things down to the basic elements of what makes an image and what makes an image look good. So not trying to be minimalistic and abstract and have just blocks of color and stuff, but I've always used graffiti as a sort of prime example of this, where it used to be, when I first started drawing graffiti, the best graffiti in mine and my friends' eyes was the most complicated, crazy, wild style spaghetti fucking noodle pieces, the intertwined bits. Every letter was like made up of 1,000 pieces and they all linked together in these intricate, complicated ways. And so we'd try to draw that and make all these crazy letters, and then whenever someone said, "What's that? What does that say?" you'd have to spend 5 minutes going, "Look, this is the E and this is the W." But then you realise, like, you get to a point where you want to break it down to, like, what am I trying to put across and what is important to make this look good. And a lot of artists, some graffiti writers do, some graffiti writers don't, but I've seen it in a lot of graffiti writers where they start with, these crazy wild style pieces, but then as they progress, get older and more mature and their tastes change, these are both really, really nice. I love that, the girl and then the robot, but like not all of the robot with its legs and stuff, but just that's a really nice composition. And it's also done on like it's painted on bits of paper with other papers stuck on, which is, I've tried to do that a couple of times, but I've not felt it successful. And so that's one thing that I sort of took from Ashley Wood, tried it out, found that it didn't quite work for me and the images I wanted to create, and I left it behind. So that's, it is I don't just copy Ashley Wood. I like take a few bits and pieces and go, this works, I can use this and move forward with it, take this, leave it behind. But yeah, a lot of graffiti writers, they started complicated and then they got more and more simple, and sometimes they just now do like almost just straight letter pieces and or characters and things. And I think that's not consistent across all art and artists, but certainly is visible in a lot of artists' work. And I've spoken a lot about before about getting into like the comic industry. You have to achieve a certain standard, and a way to at least appear you're doing that is through detail. The more detail you put into a piece, the more busy and almost professional it can look. Whereas if you break something down simpler, it doesn't necessarily. This is really, really nice. I love that. And then this is where I first picked up the idea of using, because there's duotone dots for the stocking. So he's painted the leg and then this band here, but he's digitally put in duotone dots with a bit of a fade here to actually give the darker colour of the stocking over the flesh that he's painted. Taken that and stolen that a bunch of times because it's really, really fucking good and effective and shit. But yeah, so I used to obsess over like Jeff Darrow and The Matrix. When I got The Matrix on DVD, looked at the making of, and then saw Jeff Darrow doing his artwork and for the robots and stuff, and just being like everyone else seeing Jeff Darrow's work for the first time, just my mind being blown the fuck away by what he was able to do. And I figured that's the only way to draw robots, because otherwise what's the point if they're not these weird, complicated, intricate designs of things? Then what's the fucking point? But then later in years, and I develop and grow as an artist and whatever, I start to learn that, what is a robot? Like, in not always, but often, it's a stand-in for a human. So you give it intestines, but like rib cage, arms, basic joints, that's all you need to be a robot. So I really, with Ashley Wood's work, I really appreciated his simplicity in robot design, where it is almost like box with arms and legs, and sometimes literally box with legs for a robot. But it's certainly in what Ashley Wood puts out, it communicates whatever he's trying to say very, very well. And he's very good at that. This is clearly a very natural shape as a human with its clothes torn and ragged, and clearly a robot with its big chunky metal shapes. So that's really, really good to see. Which is really good for something like zombies versus robots, because you've got the contrast between the robots and the zombies. Very natural, biological forms of zombies, and then the opposite of robots. I probably won't actually go through every page, because we're not even halfway through. We're this many pages we've looked through. That's so many pages, and we've still got this many pages. Maybe a third of the way through. Or maybe I'll just make this a particularly long episode and fucking go on and on and on. And on and on and on and on and on. I do want to see if that painting, the first painting I saw, is in here. I might try to quickly flip through. This is a really, really cool image. I have a semi. He's got a little half boner. Love this. I've stolen this whole thing. Even just the idea of like small person against big person. You know, David and Goliath. That whole thing. And here's more artwork I've stolen. Here's more artwork I've stolen. Here's more artwork I've stolen. That's all this is going to be now. Although I think because this is almost like 2 books in one, I believe. That's really cool. This almost has like, and maybe it's on purpose, but it feels like I don't know if it's like 40s, 50s, 60s art. I don't know the terms, but like I don't think it's Art Nouveau, but like, you know, The Incredibles, where it's like harkens back to a previous time, and all the art direction and stuff has that certain old timey animation art feel to it. It has that kind of, you know, where it harkens back to harken. It calls back to, like, you know, Jetsons and those all old fucking shits. So yeah, this is Grande Finale 2000-2006, and then I think at some point it switches to a different one, and I believe the first book is mostly paintings with drawings, and then the next book is mostly drawings, maybe with some paintings. Love that. The red underpainting. I definitely stole my idea of the red underpainting from Glenn Fabry first, and then Bisley. I didn't even realise he had used it on this piece. When I first saw this book, it didn't occur to me that he had red underpainting over marker pens with paint on top. But I see it now. Now that I've stolen it a bunch of times. Nice big titty lifting picture. Love the face, dots for eyes. It's probably the first place I saw that I actually like realised you can just put dots for eyes and it reads well enough. So yeah, I want to see if that painting's in here. But if it's not, it's not. Love that. Fucking love that. I did learn a lot about painting with light from Ashley Wood. Because when you're painting, if you're trying to paint, you know, realistic or semi-realistic things, you are almost painting with light. You're painting with paint and colour, but essentially you're painting with where the light falls on the object to create the image. So these basic shapes that create the form of this hand and the bolt in the arm and the joints and everything, where to leave shadows and where to put lights, and then where you've got the eye like indented into the metal, so you've got this little not glare but little shine on the rim as the light's coming down and hitting the outer rim of that indentation. Really, really simple, but it's those sorts of things, if you pay attention to that and put it into your own work, it really is good to steal other people's work. 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something, I guess. That's cool, that's cool. That's alright, I guess. He's done so much work. That's it! That fuck yes! That's the exact painting I was talking about. I believe it's a digital painting, but still, it's a painting enough. At the time when I first saw it, I think I thought it was a real painting. I don't think I realised it was digital because I didn't have my magical digital eyes yet. My digitised digital eyes. But yeah, that's the first ever Ashley Wood piece I saw. And I mean, image construction, light and dark contrast to build shapes. You know, the contrast between foreground and background fades away into the background. Because I used to have a tendency to always think in my head, the further something goes back, the darker you draw it. So if you draw characters and a leg is going backwards, you just get a really dark shadow on the leg and then make it lighter as it comes forward, which, you know, can be true sometimes and does work sometimes depending on the lighting of the environment. But in general, I have found, especially with like landscapes and you know, scenes, if you're painting or drawing a scene, it's best to have the background fade into a paler version of itself and then have the foreground be darker and more solid. I found that to be... I did that with this little earthworm Jim. See, I Google imaged out of focus park photo for the background to try to paint and recreate like an out of focus park in the background with trees and bushes and stuff, and then hopefully make the worm of Jim a bit more solid and up front. More on that later. Fuck it, that's a good place. Oh, actually, I think that's Spawn, which I wasn't aware of at the time, but that's cool too. So yeah, first thing, and then that's... Oh, did I say more on that later with regards to this painting of Earthworm Jim without his suit? I bloody did. Not much more on that, but I have got planned a series of paintings of Earthworm Jim characters. I think, you know, I've drawn Earthworm Jim and things before. I'm going to have to get my sketchbook on. God damn it. God damn it. I guess I don't have to, but I'm going to anyway. I saw someone do a video looking through the Earthworm Jim games, and it just got me on all nostalgic, and I was like, oh man, I know I've done a little bit of like Earthworm Jim art before here and there, but do you know what? I'd like to do some more. And then just for the funny fun of it, I know these were on Instagram, you've seen them already. I did this, and then after I did this, I thought, hey, what if I did, excuse me, a little series of him mutating. I had to flip that one over when I posted it on Instagram because I did it the other way around. And then that one and that one. Look at that! Oh, what if someone wants to buy it and then I have to tear it out on my sketchbook? That's a bit silly, isn't it? But yeah, so I did that, and then I thought, well, I'll do a bunch. So I've got planned. I think I'm going to do a few at different sizes. I will do some new ones of Peter the puppy. To fit in with the series. But yeah, there's going to be Jim with his suit, and then maybe a bigger Jim with his suit. Some of the enemies, some of the friends. It's going to be a series. However, how many times have I said, oh, I'm going to work on a series of pieces of these characters or that theme or whatever, and it's just gone fucking nowhere. Countless times that's happened. But, you know, I need to make it a money, and I think people will want to buy these Earthworm Jim pieces, and so I'll do them and sell them. And then cry because I now don't have any of the artwork I really liked that I made. Why are you drawing bodybuilders, Ewan? Well, because I'm doing a funny little comic I'm going to put on Instagram. It's going to be really fucking funny. Alright, so it's going to say, welcome to the gun show. Because, you know, guns, and they're showing off their muscles. And then it's going to be him going, ha ha, and him being like, yeah, and him being like, you know, wah, pah, like individual panels showing them going like, pew, pew, welcome to the gun show, pew, two-tap, yeah, yeah. And then this guy will show up. Grrr! You know who that is, don't you? Do you know who that is? That's my character, Gun Viking. Who I stole from Ashley. He'll show up going grrr, and then all the bodybuilders going eek, and they're all scared of him. He jumped into his arms, and they're all like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" No. And then Gun Viking's blowing them the fuck away. Blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna do that one now. They're all getting blown to fucking pieces. The poor bastards, poor muscly bastards. Nothing against them really. I mean, you know. spoken before on how I'm not really keen on bodybuilders in general. They just tend to be fucking twats, don't they, really? Just all those gym bros and like all of those sorts of people, they just tend to be fucking cunts. I find they're another version of like extroverts that rather than try to like understand other people, they say, oh, you should do this, you'll enjoy it. You should get out more and speak to more people and do more active things, you'll really enjoy it. Rather than think about the fact that people don't necessarily want to do that shit. You know? And I say all of this because I'm lazy and I don't want to put any effort into bettering myself. And so I don't want to be told by a fucking roided up meathead that I'm not doing enough. And then it comes out that, you know, all these big muscly men that everyone loved and respected online, and it comes out that they were all doing steroids, and everyone's like, oh my god, I had no idea. And it's like, really? You had no idea that this fucking ridiculously jacked up monster of a person was using all kinds of shit to make themselves that way? You had no idea. Look, I'm stealing the zigzag thing from James Harren, like I said I would. I'm stealing that for a couple of other things as well. It will be in the next page of Death Fist as well. See, so I've got it rough. I just need to lightbox it. I need to figure some stuff out, but he's throwing it. This is him here, and this is his hand. Let me, because it might not be very clear. Well, you can see his head, can't you? And then he's got this arm up here. Fist. This is not his death fist, his regular fist. There. And then his hood here. His poncho will be like flying out this way. And then, right, where have I drawn it? Right, so this is his fist. This would be his knuckles. That's how I draw knuckles in general. That's how I draw hands in general. That actually helps me draw hands in a pretty big way. I don't know if you've noticed before. If I draw the hand, I almost always will go 1, 2, 3. I don't exaggerate that much, but the middle one is always a little bit more prominent than the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that sort of gives me a guide on, you know, where my shit's going. Do you know what I mean? And then the pinky sticks out always, obviously. And then you can use that to like draw the tendons that come off the fingers, and then, you know, the wrist and all the rest of it. See, it works. It works with the turtle. I think that was from The Office. So this is his fist, his forearm here, and his bicep, tricep, elbow, and then the other bit of the forearm comes down this way. And then this is a guy getting punched in the fucking face with his teeth flying out. I might have to draw this on bigger paper to fit it in properly, and then like condense it down when I do the actual thing. But yeah, so here I'll put in some of these kind of lines, and I'll draw the outline like this, and have it like going away to give that blurry movement effect, motion blur kind of shit. And then write punch here, which I'm unsure about. I don't want to cover up too much of the detail, so I might be able to write that in such a way that it doesn't. And then there's a punch here. It might, I don't know if I will, but it might say punch, panch, and then punch. So he's got his arm up here, going like an uppercut on somebody. And then this one, he's just straight punching someone like into a wall. And then big swinging punch coming towards the viewer. And then these 3 panels is him punching down on someone into the ground. That's him up here with his feet doing whatever they're doing. And then this one is a guy falling through blackness. His head there. And then this one is the same guy on the ground, like, you know, sort of sat on the ground with demons and devils around him and fire in front and behind him because he's in hell now. So he's punching the guy down into hell. That's the show. So that's the next bit of Death Fist I've got going on. But in the meantime, these cunts are being shot to fucking pieces. I'm spitting all over it. I don't necessarily put blood, sweat and tears into my artwork, but I do put a lot of spit, piss and cum into it. Feet, motherfucking feet, yeah. A little bum. Oh. I'm not doing too much detail on here on purpose, and you'll see why shortly. Because I might ruin it. This may be one of those ones I have to draw twice or more, because I might fuck it up. But that remains to be seen. We'll see how it goes. Well, I should put some like shadow behind them, shouldn't I, where they're all being. Because the light's coming from here, so largely they should be in shadow. Oh. Yay! Let's put some debris, some bodily debris coming away. Bits of flesh being shot off and whatnot. Do an eyeball. Funny. It's funny because they're dying. Oh. It's quite funny. I talk about I just can't watch people die now. It's just, you know, I've grown so mature and empathetic in my later years, and then I draw comics like this. But it's cartoon violence, innit? There's a difference. It's not real. It's not actually happening. Bodybuilders aren't actually being shot to pieces by giant Vikings with guns. Or are they? Not that we know. They're covering it up. It's a psyop. Whatever the fuck that means. Deadly. Ooh. Oh no, they're all dying. Oh, it's so sad. Now, I have drawn those a little bit big, so I think I may be able to get away with... You know, I do that quite often, you know, when I scan everything in and adjust it ready for print or for Instagram print. You know, I might move things around and change the size of things a little bit digitally. So I may do that. I may be able to get away with making this a little bit smaller and Gun Vikings, because I just think Gun Vikings are a bit small. So make him a bit bigger and then put it in a panel and it'll work. Now, the thing I was going to do is this. Oh, that's pretty much empty. Might have to be a... Is this... it's a bit of a darker red, but it might work. Oh, cool. The cap isn't clod. Now, this could potentially ruin the entire thing. So, I've got to be a bit careful. Bit of crud on there. It's not enough to splatter over it. I think that actually works. I'm not mad about that at all. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that's fine. Is it too much blood? No! Is it too much blood? Come on, you and Jesus. What happened to you? Used to be fucking, oh yeah, more blood, more gore, let's fucking go. Now you're sitting there drawing your comics going, oh, is that too much blood though? Is that not a bit much? Oh, I think it might be too much. I could even put a little bit of Tipp-Ex like on the leg, here and here, maybe here a bit, just for a bit of highlightish. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, no, I think that works. I was worried that like it'd just be too overpowering, too much of a red burst, but no, looking in the camera now, I think that works. And the arm coming out does a lot for it, I think, and the head coming away here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's cool. That's a success. That's a success. I was a little bit worried about it, but counting that as a success. I want to draw this. Oh, the caffeine's getting to me. I'm like this, trying to draw a straight line, and my hand's doing this. I'm like, oh, easy, fucking easy. Oh, fuck. And also, I was about to say, I'm trying to do not too thick lines towards the muzzles of these Uzi pistols, so as to give the effect that there's light coming from the barrels, and then harsher, thicker lines behind things. Give the effect of like lighting and stuff, yeah, in it. It's art, man. See, because when you're drawing, you're not just drawing with ink, you're drawing with light. Do you ever think about that? Huh? No, of course you didn't, you dumb cunts. You dumb, worthless, know-nothing idiots. Bunch of fucking peasants, rubes. Dummy dum-dums. Fat dumb bastards. These pens, though, man, the helmet's way too big. Fuck yeah, it is. I have the same problem. Oh, it doesn't fit in my pants. What's going on? Yeah, finding these pens, because this brush pen is cool, but I find it better for like bigger, broader brush stroke. This is the rough I did and then traced. I find it better for like big, broad brush strokes, and I'm trying to get this sort of effect. But then trying to do smaller details with it is a bit difficult because it's so soft and flimsy, the brush. So it's so easy to be trying to get a thin line and then accidentally do like that and just not get quite the line quality. But it's good for like looser, more inky work. And then I had another one. I don't know if I still even fucking got them. I might have got rid of them. Oh yeah, these ones, which are almost the opposite. It's not quite brushy, but it's a little bit brushy, so you can get thin lines and slightly thicker lines. But it's a very firm, short tip, so it can be a bit like difficult to work with. It's maybe better for like slightly more intricate details and stuff. But then I completely by chance happened upon these in my local art shop, really quite cheap and readily available in large numbers. A uni pin, fucking whatever, brush pens, and it's almost an exact. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's the porridge that's just right. Yeah, you can get really thin lines, quite controlled thin lines and then fatter lines, and you can get the whip of brush. So these are what I'm using to do Death Fist with, plus, you know, some ballpoint and other stuff here and there. But yeah, finding these pens was a little bit of a gem, really. Quite unexpected find. But I think I was literally looking for like cartridges for this bigger brush pen, and they didn't have any. So the guy in the store was like, "Oh, we've got these." And he pulled this off the rack and handed this to me. He goes, "These are brush pens. They might work for what you want." And I was like, I don't know. Oh, there's quite a specific idea of what I want to use. And I tried it on a bit of paper in the store, and I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Actually, yeah, that's all right. That works quite well. Yeah. But it just so happens to be, like, almost perfect for, you know, what I want to use it for. So, you know, yeah, just a lucky find in that respect. Lucky me, eh? Because I was tempted to do the whole of Death Fist in ballpoint, but these pens do give a certain quality that is a little bit better than ballpoints can achieve. A little bit more professional looking, which, you know, I don't always care about, but sometimes I do. And I am planning to, like, send Death Fist out en masse when I got it done. So even like an ounce of professionalism will probably go a long way, or hopefully could potentially go a long way. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just fucking I don't fucking know. I'm just fucking doing my shit. And this is one of those ideas that's like, it's not really for anything. It's, you know, something to post on Instagram, a funny little swipe through panel. And the first panel will say, "Welcome to the gun show," and it'll be this guy flexing his muscles, and then you'll see it's a swipe thing. So you'll swipe and see him, and you'll be like, okay, what's going on? And then you see Gun Viking show up with guns because it's the guns show. Gun Viking at the gun show. It makes sense, doesn't it? And so it'll be funny. And that was literally just an idea I had. Put it in my notes, draw that, it'll be funny. And so now that's what I'm doing. And that's the sum of it. There are other things I could be working on, other things I should be working on. I've still got quite a few commissions to get through. Comics to do. Oh, did I say I was going to do a whole bunch of Earthworm Jim paintings? Yeah, maybe I'll do those someday. Who knows?